following is a presentation of MRE Uno, Division 1. This rematch means more. A lot of people know what happened on the dance floor. Let's take you back and rewind all the way back to May 2024. I may be rhyming and diming right now, but for Myth, it was the pressure moment. 4-2, down to your last strike. You know every game is a clutch moment, on the inch of pressure, and he found a way. Methodically working, using that Myth classic, quick style. And for Vapor, it was another chapter of a heartbreaking loss. But he did rebound. He did find a way in that season to make a run. Now we flash forward. As the trees start to bloom and the springtime arises from the cold winter depths of February and part of March, we start to turn a new calendar and a new page. We're halfway through the month almost, and for both of these guys, they've been off to the red hot starts. Vapor's been on a heater. Myth's been on a heater. We know the heat's going to be turned up. The pace is about to be wicked. They know this is a rematch. OGs. Two guys that have played a grand total of over 26 tournaments. 13 for Myth. Technically 13 for Vapor, even though he didn't actually play in March. He still entered. It's hard to believe 2 years later, this is only the second time they play. But they know every dying breath could be the last for Vapor, as his swan song continues. This is Vapor Myth. It's ice cold blue versus the guy we used to call double squared. That's how far we throwing it back. Hello everybody and welcome to Myth Vapor, ice cold versus double squared, Florida versus Utah. No matter what you slice it, it's going to be a fantastic night. We know this rematch has been hyped up for a lot. But how do we get here? Well, we'll begin with the match preview. Well, let me tell you something. Master veteran. They have never won. Neither player has won in this round. Both 0-2 in their career. Something's got to give. One will taste their first Final Four. As I said, Vapor's won 11 in a row entering this game. 13-1 record. He's been on the ultimate heater. Myth, on the other hand, had to use every little ounce of power play, which he never used, even though he had the advantage. Every ounce of just finding the number efficiency then to get to this point. Down, ironically, 4-3 against Logan. Logan used the power play, and he found a way to come back. He's been known for a comeback king. But the blue skip versus the G6, we'll see who finally pops the bottle in this rematch. Will Myth continue the streak against Vapor? Does Vapor get revenge? No career accolades, no matter what happens, as we've said, and it's been well diamond. Winner of this game will get at least a bronze medal guaranteed, as there is no third place game outright, as it's a shared medal due to some rules we're testing. CPU thinks Vapor wins 5-4. We'll see how this one boils down. We go into the beautiful Elite Eight pod, as we like to call it. We saw what happened last night. G moves on to now a big Final Four for him. Does he get a chance to run it back with the 10-13? Well, for that, he'll need Edward Ziemba to win. Ed Monkey going to be out there for 25 hours from now. Should be a good one. We'll talk about the class settings in a minute, as both Ed and Monkey have something to play for in the vets class. Of course, myself and Gon will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. That time was originally 1 p.m. It's got moved up. We'll have Seth Cole on the call. No idea with anybody else on that one. Try to get some people, but it is a hard time. But Vapor Myth's about to do the business. We know the old trends, right? Vapor wins tonight. He keeps pace with G, and the Masters class continues. If he loses, that means Myth moves on, and that means the winner of Ed Monkey will keep the Veterans class alive. We could see a little bit of some fireworks regardless with these classes. Remember, Novice was already sealed up. We have no more players. We will not have a back-to-back Novice champion to start the season, as Nick is gone and Lara is gone, of course. And then the Legends class and the Rookies will be tomorrow. Both guys have already won their classes, respectively. Should be a fun one there in the 115. But it's Vapor Myth, and we go to the scene. It's my main man, Coach. Coach, This is a big one, brother. When you get a chance to play your first taste of a rematch early in the season like this, both guys have never won E8. They both know that Final Four is looming. Neither one has been there. Well, for Vapor, let's call it like it is. He's been here since the start. If we don't count that first tournament, he's 0 for 12 for making a Final Four. For good old Myth over here, he's the same way. He's 0 for 13 making a Final Four. Something's got to give. Where do you think the battle lines can be drawn tonight as both guys know each other from that dance floor as they go into the garage floor amped up for his best of 9-2 power plays?
Well, it's just like, game 7 of the NBA Finals. They know each other. They've already played each other 6 times now. And what's on the line? A pretty big trophy. To make it to that Final Four is an absolute just honor, especially with the competition you've put up against in this tournament. And I don't know what else to say other than, man, I'm excited to see these two guys go at it.
It's going to be fast and furious tonight, man. We're expecting some fireworks. These guys both play a ridiculously quick style. We know what this can do. We're going to start it off with the home team. Home team, Vapor, big win. Congratulations, buddy, on winning that Vintage Challenge Grimland event earlier. Obviously, now you got to recompartmentalize. You've been on an absolute heater 11 in a row. But it's not about the streak tonight. It's about keeping composure. You see a promised land in front of you. Last season, what would it mean to get this game and get some revenge on Myth, knowing you guys play a very similar style in terms of card efficiency and card numbers, along with pace? How are you going to try to get an edge tonight, knowing this is going to be a game where getting outside the box will be hard, but if you get there, it could be rewarding? Babe? Sure, you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, you're good. All right, bro. Yeah, let me know. I think both of you guys really talk anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Well, Vapor, that's the question, though, man. Just how you guys outside the box, thoughts on the rematch. Myth, you won that first game ever against Vapor. That was crazy to say back in T3, the dance floor. Masquerade May to get to that point was the Elite Eight because that was a Sweet 16 where you eventually lost to Brad. This is a guy that plays basically the similar style in terms of pace. There's a little bit different nuances, though. We know it's going to be a crack show. This could go quick. How do you try to get outside of the same question, really, because you know this is going to be a game of margin. How do you try to break the margin when you play a guy like Vapor who's been around the block, similar to you, since the start?
I mean, just use the cards I got and make the best of it. We both play fast, but I played against fast opponents, like pretty much all tournament, most notably the ghost round, and even Logan was somewhat fast.
Appreciate that, Myth, and we'll wait for Vapor to get back. While we do that, we'll fill some dead air. Coach, this is a big one, man. Both got... Yeah, go for it, Coach.
I ain't saying anything.
Oh, okay, I'm here back in it. Yeah, I know. I see it. He basically said it would mean a whole lot to get the win. Look for my first career. Yep, exactly. I think this is going to come down to a point, Coach, where when we talk about margin, man, room for error, when these guys play a rapid pace style, there's only so much you can do, right? If we're going to a basketball game, you're basically playing the same defensive scheme. Maybe you run 2-3 up top, right? You try to get some fast break points, an X factor and turnover. But here, they're both going to run 7. They're both going to run a 6. They're both going to throw maybe a heat check in there and get maybe a couple turn win. Really, it's going to be about the mentality. When you know what happens to you when it strikes, you got to learn how to compose yourself. Do you think it's going to be an X factor tonight when someone does win? Maybe that first game where it's playing A City and the other opponent's got to deal with that shot taken?
I mean, absolutely. I think it all comes down to who controls the pace of the game. I think at the end of the day, you have to be in control. I think everybody's kind of, you know, tired of hearing me say this over and over again, but you have to control the pace. I mean, if you don't control the pace of the game and you're not in control of how the game is going, like the last game I commentated, don't remember what his name was, but he just played Monkey played absolutely great defense. And if you don't play absolutely great defense in this league, it's hard to win. and he had every inch covered against Caesar. And in my opinion, I think that's kind of the game plan you do later in these tournaments, because at the end of the day, you know that both competitors are good. So like, just look and see what you can do when it comes to the defensive end of the field, because you know the other person is going to throw a haymaker here and there.
Haymakers is the name of the game. Vapor, do you want to add anything else, man? Or you good to run it up? Anything you want to say? Go ahead. Floor is yours for a minute as you get back here for your third time in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, 3 times, and or twice before, I've gotten nothing from the Elite Eight. As I said, I'm looking for my first career Final Four, and it would mean a whole lot to be able to get there. But honestly, I played a great tournament to the point that I'm at. So win or lose, I'm really happy with the results from this tournament so far.
That's the thing, right, Coach? You got to realize too, it's only April, man. When you can bank 4 wins at the start of the year, we talked about the separation in this league. Okay, there's the KTs in a row with 7. There's the Ashley with 6. There's Nick and Yepes with 6. You got Lane on back. I know there's nothing, right? It's just literally 4 on back. Someone will get their 5th tonight, but if you lose, you're just in the mid pack, and the mid pack is what, 5th through 30th. It's insane how close the competition is. One win every round will make a difference, especially when we start cooking in late May and start thoroughly talking about Super League. But right now, it's about banking wins as we only are in mid-April. It's going to be a good one. Let's get this show on the road. Vapor, this will be your third Elite Eight, my friend. You are the home team. I think I know where we're starting here. Something to get our juices pretty low and revved up. But let's do the honors. What are we doing? Yep, 5 new is coming, no send. That's the classic from Vapor. It's game 1. It's the blue +2. Let's have a good one as Vapor will draw Coach already. The pace is going to be fantastically quick. Let's go with that.
Man, I think it's exactly what they wanted to do. A couple of draws right off the bat for Vapor. Let's see what Myth can do.
Nothing. Well, they're going to go back. Yep.
I think with that low card start, I think it gives you the opportunity to hit, that first punch. But if you don't have anything, you kind of back it up a little bit and try to get that arsenal a little bit more beefed up.
Well, there's the switch. Vapor makes the break. Here comes Myth. New color guy. I think both guys will like that with the minor draw city. And there's a little flip into the script in the Myth. He goes to the cap 4. Back to the Yepes 7 from Vapor to match the green. Here comes Myth. Goes in reverse. Draw combo. Opens the door up for Vapor. What has he got in the back? And as he run through it, he'll play clean with the Chamba green 8. Myth looking to fire back. He'll go 1 up to the brick. I'm telling you, it goes quick. Brian 9 and Vapor draws. Just like that.
And Myth for the draw now. Well, draw city. Population dos.
Populacion dos. Parte dos as well. As they both go into a draw city as we continue to roll and flow. And it's about building that hand. We talk about Bob the Builder, right? Build that hand, build the basement, build the concrete up, and that's how you build your skyscraper. And that's what both guys are doing so far. Here comes Myth looking to crack it, but he can't
I
do
think
it.
another thing we need to talk about in this early games is you have two power plays to play with. In a 9-game series, you can still use one early in the series and then hold that one to the end as Myth goes on a back-to-back with a skip and a draw.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to get Vapor to run through those doors, but Vapor's experience, man, both guys are really, you don't see them running through the doors unless it's really clean. If there's a backdoor switch to blue, it's going to open up.
I wonder if Vapor is trying to let Myth throw the first punch here because he has a counterfeit or he has a counterpunch.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's baking on number efficiency to go his way, and it's working right now. Vapor doing a good job as he'll get the lead back here on this play, and he will with the monkey 3. Myth goes to blue. It's 2-color. Vapor looking to cross back over. Does he have a crossover? He'll will into green. Back to it.
And it equals up. Just like that, Vapor has the advantage.
Vapor with the advantage. Myth with the possession right now, trying to tie it back up with Vapor with the overall PA. Here comes Myth. Let's see. On this green wild heater from Vapor. Loads up. Takes a step back. +4 action.
That's huge right there. But I think Vapor kind of, put the pressure on Myth right there to play something at him.
Oh, the crossover back. into the red, and Vapor can only run with it. Big play for Myth right there, Coach. That's a great read there. You got to respect that.
Myth, I agree right there. That's a huge play. But Vapor back to the yellow 4.
Can Myth have some more number efficiency? It's been his MO, though, this tournament. He can't, and that's what Vapor needs. He can play it clean here. Got to land on the right numbers. He goes to the 6. Saw the 6 earlier played. What's the top decker for Myth? Nothing. Vapor for a tie.
I think Vapor is playing this, and just like that. What was I saying? Vapor's playing this very consistently right now.
Very consistently playing the colors correctly, trying to use those strategical draws, using the strategical switches, looking for deuce. Here he comes into the Chamic green 8, doubles up from the cap green 4. Myth now looking for a response. Used the +4, wasn't a little bit of defense. We're finding out a little bit later when we ask him that question. He loads up. What's he got in the back kilter? Taking his time, thinking about his move. Here he comes. He'll go to blue. Does this give Vapor an outlet? Let's see. It will.
It does, but does he have that final card, though?
Smith have a +2 backdoor to keep that going as well. That's the
I
thing when
think
you
you
make
got to
the switch.
hope to keep it to blue.
+4,
But he hits it with a
+2.
wild +4 and 2.
That might be game. He gets the Uno. Ho.
Vapor has something for sure.
He's got to have some. He's
He
going
plays
to
a
the
yellow.
Is it the number efficiency for Myth for the win, though?
It's not.
It is the number efficiency. Myth ends the streak, and he's up 1-0. What a game, Ryan. You got to, that was.
That's exactly
well
what you
played.
want in your final 8 matchups.
That was well played. He's got the 2. Crazy game. Let's go to Myth here. Myth, double +4, but that first one, my friend, was a little bit of a defensive measure. Seeing that heat check green wild, you really played the number efficiency and caught Vapor lacking there on that 5, which he's known for. Talk me through it, man, and how you got the win. Using a little bit of that defensive +4, ultimately stopping on Vapor on the back end. Talk me through that.
Yeah, with both of the +4s, I was like, I knew Vapor had some momentum getting closer to the finish line. So I had 2 +4s, so I used one of them to get back to red, and then he tried to switch back. So I swapped back, and then the second one, I saw I was getting close to the finish. I took the risk, and it paid off.
Took the risk and it paid off. Appreciate that, Myth. And Vapor, looking at the stats here, didn't have much, but you fought like an animal just to get this one going. Talk to me about why that green wild, man. Were you banking on maybe trying to speed up some of that ammo in the back, trying to flush it out, which you did a good job? Is that what was a flush play? And do you think you kind of accept the fact that, hey, that's how 5 cards is? You don't get the early get-go play. You got to go draw city and profit off it. And unfortunately, just wasn't getting enough of the action cards to fight a double +4.
I had a green reverse, green skip, yellow skip combo that I was planning on playing there. And from there, I had a yellow 4, yellow 5, yellow 6, red 6. And I knew he wanted red, so I was banking on him going to that red 6, which I played, but wasn't able to switch it. I got another red 6 from the first +4.
Gotcha.
And that combo just didn't really ever come to fruition how I wanted it to. I could have played the red 6 on that last card, but I trusted in what I know works, and what I know works is switching the number, and it just didn't work out for me that time. That's fine. Long series.
Long series, all right. That's the thing, right, Coach? You live and die by NE, right? Number efficiency. Sometimes when that compass rose says go northeast, in your gut you want to actually go southwest, and that's the direction these guys have to go. They're flipping and flopping, they're crissing, crossing. Right, that's what we want to see in a match. But talk to me what you saw there from a coach perspective. See what these guys are going to do to make adjustments, because this low tier package is a jump starter. It can go flip right away. You like to snap? I'll do a little snap. Crackle, pop on the mic. Keep it going.
In the flesh.
In the flesh, babe. Let's keep it rolling. What's your thoughts on that, though, for sure?
I mean, I think it goes to this, that you could play an absolutely perfect game. Like, I'm not saying they would play perfect, but you can play an absolutely amazing game and then go out there and lose it because of a, luck of the draw number. So I'm not saying that, I think comes down to exactly how you play when it comes late in the game. You have to have that defensive mindset, and you can't leave it up to number efficiency if you're going to try to win these battles.
Gonna be a good one. Let's see how Vapor moves for Vapor. 5 losing versus how close. Yeah, I got you. It's definitely you take profit. It's a best of 9 now. 8 more to go potentially. All right, my friend. Free board again. You know the rules. What you got here? Let's go up to the 14. We're gonna juice it up again into the double OG. Nam's number and the table, and we'll keep it rolling here on the 14. There's your car, Rogers, in the flesh.
In the flesh.
Yes, sir, baby. There's the switch, though, right off the bats. That's what these guys do, man. The octane nitrous is in the fuel system for both these guys tonight. That's how they play it. As there it is, trips 4. How about that off the start?
Yes, sir. In the flesh.
Yes, sir. Rogers in its appear, in and Nam to JT, back to DJ, and we go ring around the rosy. Here comes the Zach 103 from Vapor. They keep the pace high in octane. We go down to Ghost, one off special. We go up to background character with the 8. They continue to roll with the pace, and that's what these guys want, AR-44. They want to keep that rifle shooter going fast and furious as here comes Myth looking to load up some more. There's the G6. We pop the bottles in the ice. Getting slizzard, as Vapor likes to say. Now, how does Myth react to this one? The G6 is there, into green, playing it clean. Rhyming and diving, we go down to 0. Drop it sub below. We go into the red in 3. Now Myth looking to load back up with the green, playing it clean. As I said, goes back to that crossover to blue. How does Vapor react to that? Does he have a green in the back pocket with the 3s? We know it's a move he loves. And around always a possibility as well. He'll draw here, and now Myth. Gotta think, coach, this is what he needed. Play the numbers right, use what he can get, and really get Vapor in a compromise spot here. There it is. Yellow 6 into a yellow 8 now.
Right now, on these early guards, you just have to.
Myth might have it here, coach. Here's a run. Let's see. Is this a run for Myth for the finish? He's got the doubles. My goodness. Monster hand.
That's domination right there.
There's nothing you can do about that. That is nasty. That is. I have no words for that, man. Vapor, I got nothing, buddy. I don't unless you're doing a little savey. I don't see anything I can do on that one, man. That's just too monster. Every plus that, you know what though? Damn, coach. Think about it. They both had there's a way for Vapor to think about it, really isolate the game, and if you look at it, he could have played aggressive, and maybe he wouldn't have won, but he could have maybe used
prolonged the inedible.
Yeah. Bob was cracked on that one. I mean, that's all +4s used, right? And then there was not a single +2 from Myth. So yeah, the bot was decided to dish out everything. Thought a 6-bagger was a big enough cushion.
It's either hit or miss with the bot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I was hit or miss, man. And that was a case where the bot basically said, okay, everyone can have all the ammo and how you play it. Well, then we've seen that before, where sometimes you actually do lose on a good hand, but you only lost to a monster hand in return, and that's the beauty of this thing sometimes. Gotta know how to guess it. I don't got any question, Myth.
I don't either. I mean, there's nothing much you can do there.
It's the monster Myth, man. Yeah, I agree. I think that was a top tier hand. She can't combat 3 +4s. No one expects that. Myth up 2-0 early. He's up at home now. No questions. We're going to keep it rolling. You never know. You never know in this series, man. The bot may say, you know what? You guys can all have the +4s in your hand. Play guessing game. And that's what the beauty of it as a coach. I guess before we go to that next game, we talked about who gets that first. We had just talked about that in the pregame. The moment someone gets that first plan A punch, how does the opponent react? If Vapor down 2-0, he's going to be the first guy to react here and try to keep the momentum back in his side, as Myth is running right now with absolute cylinders.
I think this is probably not a much to win, but it's a very big game right here for Vapor.
Myth's going to get the call. Myth. No 5, no 14, free board. What are we going to do? Your classic? What are we thinking?
That's how I transition at this point, so I'm going to just roll up it and do 7.
Classic. Called it. Put it in. Ref C7. Let's play some slot machines. Now put it in the chat. The OG. Here we go. A Myth classic. How about that? Absolute craziness. His own card to start it. He gets free board. It is indeed Myth, and I'll run the nom. The ref. Here we go. The blue 5, man. Now, you gotta wonder here, Rogers, with this low stuff as we'll draw here, and say both gonna draw. This can go one or two ways. We talked about it. It can either go as we go to the end zero into the Andy 3. It can either go long, builds your hand, or it can go fast. And both guys have been content as we go to the red switch.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely crucial for Vapor to control the pace of this game here. If he's going to try to, maybe a power play
Ooh.
here would be huge for Vapor. You don't know if you don't want to go down 3-0 over the
No.
Rogers War.
In the flesh to the drip zero. Here comes Vapor draw. This is big for Myth. Can he run it on the yellows? This would be a statement here for Myth as he goes into the zero sugar switch. Vapor, nothing. Right now, it's only numbers. Myth draws, though. Vapor gets a little bit lucky there with that. I don't know what he doesn't have here, Coach, because he's drawn on every color. So it's got to be numbers here. You got to think right there. It's a number hand. Hold the phone.
So.
Hold the phone, Coach. This is Myth for the win, but he's going to play a double. He throws a heater. Back to red. Great from Vapor right there.
That's huge.
Yeah, even if he's got a KT Classic, you got it. He's not getting anything, so you might as well try Classic. Here comes Myth, though. Gets a 1.
Well, that's a top deck, but did he get the number efficiency?
Is this a 1? Is this a... I would have lost it right there. But it's going to come down top deck, so when you have that possession arrow, multiple possessions, you can pray for a little bit of that gap. Here he comes. Monster Myth. That's a heater.
That's game unless Myth Vapor has and he drew.
Hey, that's it. Myth 3-0 and
no way you draw there. I gotta ask Vapor if he had anything there. Vapor, did you not have anything? There's no way you would have just drawn there, right?
Green 4, it's over either way.
Oh, that's huge.
I'm going to ask Myth here. Myth, there's definitely a chance where it comes to a point where you think about maybe trying to play a little bit more aggressive. You did a great job. We just talked about it in the booth. Play the +4, because guess what? You have a 9-possession lead. You might as well go out there and stick it on the throttle and keep pushing. You got yourself a top deck. Wow. Thoughts on making it happen, my friend. Now with 2 power plays up 3-0, as you have turned the script on Vapor for sure.
So I had +4 after doing some draw city. Like the first draw, I got a +4, and I was like, okay, I have to go for green. And then I took the risk, and I was hoping when I played that first of the green cards, I was hoping that Vapor had a counter, because I was like, I didn't want a victory that quickly. And then I'm glad he played that wild red. And then the bail came in once again, and then I pulled out the finish.
I mean, Sting, I believe there's never been a series where a player had at least 2 +4s a game. We got it. It's been a while. It's been a long time. I know against me and Drip, I believe I had, in my 4 wins, I had a couple at each round. It's been a whole long way. You look at the stats here, Coach. There's nothing to say. It's just, sometimes that's how it is, man. That's sometimes how it is when you get the low start. You get these low starters sometimes on the 5 to 7. That's how the cookie crumbles, and you try to go up and you play the algorithm. It goes like that. Myth he's such an echo chamber player. When he gets the hand or when he gets any sort of momentum, he gets into his rhythm in this flow state. He's hard to stop, and it's only 8 minutes into the series, and he's got 2 away with double power play. And he can't. And Vapor can't do anything. He can't pick the start here. All he can do is sit back and hope something can change the momentum with the luck. That's all he can really do.
That's all you can do is hope. I know.
We've all been there, though. Yeah, it is true. It is true. But we'll see how it goes. It's free board, like I said, no 5-7-14. What do you got? You're looking to go 4-0.
All right, I'm going to go 8.
Crazy 8s, and he's going to keep it in that tier, the mid-tier Vapor, trying to get something cooking. Can he get anything? It's been mid-series, and we started off with the guy who just got done hosting the Allen 9. It's crazy to think that about an hour and a half ago he had just won in the MGR Atlanta event. Now here he comes here, and who knows what's in store. There's the switch early, Coach.
Early going here. Vapor needs to stay calm. Don't get too messed up there. I think he still has a chance to come back in this if he plays his cards right.
We'll see how it goes. He's got nothing right here on his own card. Here comes Myth. into the green cap 4. There's the yellow 4, though. That's going to open up the door for both potentially. Myth has stolen back the possession arrow. He'll play the deuce. Here comes Myth now. Tops, well, not tops, but puts it into the blue. They both had that in the mind with the bad Brad double blue deuce. 2-7, not the best in poker, but just Ryan Uno.
You're coming late to this late game there. You got to give Myth.
Is that the right move to leave it open? Yellow 8. Nothing for Vapor. Here comes Myth. Does he have the finish? Looking for the finish right here. He comes. Power play. It's 4-0. It's 4-0. Just like that. Coach, I think this one, you got to say, that's a questionable leaving it open. Not going to lie. That one a little questionable. But everything else...
I don't think Vapor's on his game right now because right now...
Yeah, you can see it. I
mean, Vapor's not closing the door. He's not giving... he's giving Myth... He's giving... it's a game over right now.
How is that power play unnecessary?
Yeah, but he had to switch to green. He had to switch to green, so he couldn't use before. It was an 8 switch, and I was gonna backseat, but I'll take this one thing about that open door. You're getting absolutely torched by the spot right now. I don't think there are many plays that Vapor's gonna regret at this point because he's fighting 20 million on 1 right now, and he doesn't want to answer any questions. He just wants to go.
I get it, and Coach, you talked about the composure, man. At a certain point, you got to think about this from 2 perspectives, right? You really have to look at this from a game where when you try every card start, you try the 5, you juice it, then you go up, and then you look at the 7 and 8 where you go for it.
You got to think, though, like, if you don't want this game to be ended quickly, so why would you not go with a big card start, kind of level head, get in the rhythm a little bit, and then try to tear down his momentum a little by little by 1 game, get 2. Maybe you lose a game in there, go down 4-2, but you can't just play into what he's trying to do. In my opinion, this is where Vapor lost this round. But it's still not over. Vapor can win 5 straight. I don't know if that's ever happened before, but like I'm saying, it has to start somewhere, and he's still not on his game right now.
Biggest league comeback that I'm aware of, I believe, was, I want to say G. Sanford. 100% had to be G. Sanford because that was the 5-1, GF 5-1 and lost 7s. That's probably the biggest comeback. But again, that was a 4 power play era. We don't have 4 power plays tonight. If we had 4 power plays, he's still in it. But with only 2 and now 1 for Myth, he's going to have to find something out of control here. And I think he's going to have no regrets here. Vapor, it's free board, buddy. What do you got to prevent the sweep? What are we having here? You might as well try. There it is. Yeah, well, that's an old era. That's an old era. Thank God we ain't going back to that. 15 cards. We're going to try to get 1 on the board. Myth looking for the sweep. He's got a power play. Another Myth starter. It's been all Myth tonight on the bot, and it's been all Myth in terms of aces. How does Vapor get back in the game here? Let's see. Let's see what Myth will do. He'll go into the switch, and you got to think, Coach, at this point, everything is aces. He's got nothing right here. Everything is aces so far for Myth, and that's been his MO his whole career, right? When he can get on that heater and get those runs as Vapor switches, it's hard to stop a freight train moving at 1,000 miles per hour. That's what Vapor's going to try to do, playing a little 20-on-1 here as we go back to a little end around the green to make Pandoras. And that, my friends, is a little Skittles action. There we go.
Skittles!
In the flesh. I like it. All right, well, we're going to see blue 7. And Mitch draws here. Here comes Vapor. Into a JT.
Honestly, I sat back and I analyzed this game, as we're, in this early part of this game, you got to say that Vapor has done a lot of drawing. I don't know what the exact stats of cars drawn, but Vapor has really been, yeah, look at that, 53-20. I mean, that's insane. I know a lot of that has +4s and +2s, but a lot of that's been just Vapor doing it himself. I mean, it's like he's not have anything today.
When you're doing that, you don't got anything. You're just trying to make something happen as he goes through his own car, double G6, and that's the tough road to hoe, man. When you don't have anything, you have to look at this from two perspectives. It really is a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword on what you can get and what you can do, and what you can get and what you can do is two different things. As he goes for the +2 pack just to get something going. Game 1, he had a chance, right? The other games, though, it hasn't really worked in his favor for sure.
You got to think you want to use a power play here to end this game out, but you think he's trying to hold
my goodness, +2. See what I'm saying? +2 erase, we're tied. Just like that. It's every answer Myth has had tonight. As he goes back to the green wild, trying to stay on the green, here comes Myth. Smith finish it off right here. This would be something. Oh my goodness. The wild flush. Vapor has got to think of something here, man. I mean, every answer, he goes for the... What? He got the... I was going to say, wait a minute. All right, well, once again, and that was his first game. He had a chance to change the script, Coach, and I think you're right. Go to that upper tier, and he changed the script, safe the power play. Vapor, you finally got something. Was that pretty much just like a plan A win? Was able to run it, use a little of that number of fish, and find the back door to get the win? Not really not much else to say there. Pretty clean there.
Yeah, that's Vapor Uno. That's just running the numbers, using the ammo when I have to. Helps that it's a good hand. Would have been able to do that without the +4s though. Yeah, that's how I've been wanting to play all night, and I've just been getting some really atrocious draw city draws. Like I'll have in game 4 a green 3 and a yellow 3, and I'll draw a red 9 or like a blue reverse. So stuff like that, but didn't have to worry about that on the self drawing in this game. So finally got a little bit of rhythm.
I mean, Myth, I guess the only question is, did you have a potential icer on that yellow wild? Were you one turn away to use the power play and finish it off? Or was it a case that you got beat to the punch and you got to accept it, considering he had 2 +4s in the Delta?
Yeah, I mean, played the wild, hoping to ice him out, and then I saw him just pulling out the finish. I was like, all right, it is what it is. I didn't really have much. I just had, the yellow cards and, the red card and the blue card, even though, the red, the yellow, and the blue all have the same number.
Gotcha. So it was more of just a backdoor connector. All right. Coach, I don't really have much to say. We've seen a lot of Plan 8 tonight, just quick, rapid pace. I don't got much to add there. It's been 12 minutes and we're 6 games in here. It's almost 6 games. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think right now Vapor needs to stay in control. Don't get too above his head or too down on himself. Stay in control. Let's cut down the leads. You don't have that game to give away now like you did the last couple games. So now you have to win 5 straight. So you have to get a momentum on your side and keep working. I think Vapor can do it though.
Vapor's got the 2 power plays missed, still with 1 in the back pocket. Vapor, that's it for the Senator. We're done for that for tonight. Everything else is free. What do we got? All right, we go back to 14 double time on this one. Vapor's last home start. Again, until we get to Game 7, if we get there. Myth looking to close it out. Vapor looking to get to a Game 7. Myth will have the call for Game 7 if we get there. Vapor looking for the run here. Let's see. But it starts it off with the lane 7. He'll play the Brad Blue Deuce, and here comes Myth. And I think if you're Myth here, you just got to keep doing what you've been doing all night. Get the hand, play smart, and find a way. Vapor draws here, Coach, early.
Yeah, I think Vapor's trying to use that strategy again.
We'll see with Myth. He'll just play it cool. He'll get the switch, though, off it. We talked about that. Sometimes you just gotta draw and find a way. Question becomes now is how does Myth take this one, an aggressive approach? Because it's been aggression for Myth all night because he's had the hand where Vapor's had to find some more magic ways to keep himself in the series. Goes to the 7 deuce count.
How long do you have that magic, though, is the question, as Myth throws a back-to-back card.
We'll see how. That's the thing, right? How long do you have it? And that's the $1 million question. Sometimes you can have it for a long duration, and sometimes you don't. Here comes Myth. He's loading up here pretty big here, Coach. This is a scary play right here. You got to think you're Vapor. This is alarm bells ringing. Let's see. Then again, that's from 8 deep. That's a... Yeah, I was going to say I was from 8 deep, though. So Vapor going to go back to green. Myth with the potential flush of the +2. Comes Myth. Yeah, it's true. Yep, on point there, but goes back to green, saves it a little bit, and there's Myth with the aggression. Let's see if he's got any more, though.
It's still not, unmanageable right now.
My goodness, it's just that's ammo control, man. I mean, what else can you say, Coach? That's great ammo control when he's going to go aggressive with the switch. Every answer, every single time Vapor's throwing some, Myth's got the answer, and that's the big thing, right? As he goes into a yellow, he's going to try to get it cleaner here. How does Myth try to finish this off on the yellow? Let's see. That's it. There's nothing to say. That is nothing to say. I mean, that is Myth. Congratulations on your first Final Four, buddy, and another monster Myth hand. What a job! Really, the good old pot was in your favor, and I don't really got much to say on that one. Thoughts on making the Final Four? That was crazy, man.
I guess the card just came along. I'm just like kind of in shock. I mean, like I had one +4 in a wild, and then like I think one. Let me see where I got the. Oh yeah, when the +2 was played, that's where I got the other +4.
Wow.
Like I was just sort of rolling from there. It feels good to make it the Final Four. It took me 2 years, but I made it here, and the road's not going to end here.
We'll go back to you in a second. Coach, you want to ask something to Vapor real quick? Go ahead. I know you have something you want to say about those
Vapor,
draws.
I know how you feel, man. The luck of the draw was not on your side, but at the end of the day, I don't think you were on the best of the terms with your play. Tell us about how devastating this is, but how is it going to help you in the future as you made it this far? That's a good thing to keep your head on. How hard are you to come back from this loss? Because this makes you even more hungrier.
Look. I don't want to hear from anybody that I wasn't on the best of my game. I played as well as I could have with the cards that I was given. I switched at every opportunity. I drew. I played mind games. I had bad back pocket fades. Everything that's worked up to this point with, the win streak, getting to the Elite Eight, everything I could have thrown at him, I throw at him. You just can't come back from 8-2 on +4s, 5-3 on +2s, 6-3 on reverses. And I know it's so hypocritical of me to say because I, luck merchant a little bit, but it wasn't just the luck throughout this run. I had played really good Uno, and it's just really hard to win when your opponent is split ammoing every possession in Game 7 and then having 2 +4s in the pocket. It's really tough one to swallow, but yeah, probably go back to losing in the second round every time.
Keep your head on, my friend. I mean, Coach, I think you got to look at this from two perspectives, right? Vapor put everything he could out there tonight. You look at the stats, he got torched. You think about it. We talk about this. When you're doubled up on cards drawn, it's very hard to come back. Game 1, okay. Maybe he had a shot, power play, but I don't think there's any more times he could have maximized it. I don't think this could have been anything other than a 5-1 or maybe even a 5-2. I just don't. And Vapor, is that a fair assessment? I think you maximized the night. I don't see where else you could have maybe done something better. Maybe other than, I don't know, try to not light switch, but that just goes against your DNA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hope the Super League Commission, the people who put out the polls, see this game and see how well I played in spite of, the cards. And I hope that they take into consideration, the effort that was put in, everything that I tried to do, even though the 5-1 doesn't really reflect that. I played like every game was game 9. And I hope they see that, and I hope my ranking in the AP after this tournament reflects that.
Appreciate that. We'll go to Myth. Well, your thoughts on playing either myself? It would be a reunion or gone, and that'll be your final 4 opponent.
That's gonna be one of a matchup. As if I'm playing against you, that's a throwback all the way back to March 2023.
That was my first ever match, man. That's crazy.
Exactly, the second ever matchup. The first was when I won against Clint in a best of 3. And now it's the real deal. And Gon is a rookie, so it's gonna be a battle regardless.
Yeah, it would be a host battle, of course. Gon hosts you, UTI hosts this, and you host your own league. So we'll see who has the most with the host battle. But Coach, I think Vapor said it best, man. He tried to fight 20-1. He did everything right. I don't think or else we could have done anything different. I really don't. Like I said, maybe game 1 you thought about power play, but that's hindsight's 2020. At that point, you don't think about game 1 power play. You know what I'm saying? It's too early for sure. One guy does. His name is Lane, but that's about Lane's the only. It works for Lane, but that's the only guy I see make it work. Honest to God. But your thoughts, the overall perspective here, Coach?
I get what he's saying when it comes to the lack of card play, but I still think he could have done more to fight it. I think the game 1 he kind of knew. I kind of called that Myth was gonna throw a little something out there at the end, and he didn't really cover it well. He left the door open multiple times on this trying to come back. So at the end of the day, yes, card luck was huge, but I don't know, Myth. Good game for sure, but I want he covered everybody's bases. He did card storage, he did what he needed to do. So I don't see how you fault Myth on here.
You can't. Sometimes the harder the cards are in your favor, and you got to roll with it. I will move over to the bracket here, and it's going to be Myth making his first ever Final Four after 13 attempts. He makes it in. Vapor will come back swinging come late April or early May, depending on when we start it up. That leaves the next game on the docket will be myself and Gunn. And tomorrow, the nightcap, 8:30, Monkey's the Emma. Congratulations also, since Myth won. That means G has won the Masters class, and that's now KTG, Gunn, and Lara win the classes. Only one class left to go. It's Vets, Myth. No matter what, we'll have to keep it rolling because Ed and Monkey are both hard to believe, man. Both guys started in T1 and 2. Both veterans now. We'll see how that one goes. That's all we got for tonight. This is probably one of the quicker KT streams, less than an hour, but it's Myth, man. You got to expect something quick. Congratulations to him as he makes his first Final Four. The boys will leave quotes there. I want to thank Short for helping me, EP, and Coach for coming out for a quick night, Non for reffing. For all of us, MRE, it's been a pleasure. Good everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow with myself back on the stream at 8:30, and I'll be playing with Seth Cole. Unfortunately, I don't think we have anybody commentating, but Seth and Caesar will help me out in the Gon KT battle at 11 in the morning. Should be a good one. Good night, and we will see you for some MRE Uno in the morning at 10:45 coverage, 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Good everybody. This has been a presentation of MRE Uno Division 1.